How do you feel about putting in a cash offer for 160?
Are you going to come and see it?
No, what I'll do is getting a good deal to wholesale or flip can sometimes take a lot of work and effort, but it doesn't always have to. From initially getting the lead all the way to securing the contract, on today's video, using a real live deal, I want to invite you to look over my shoulder and watch me get a real estate deal to flip in less than 20 minutes, coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Quick Start Kit with everything you need to flip your first house in 30 days or less. Download it now at myquickstartkit.com.
If you're new here to this channel, I'm Jerry Norton with FlippingMastery.com, and this channel is all about ways to help you make money wholesaling and flipping real estate so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss new videos. One of the most popular style of video I do here on my channel is the Watch Me videos, where I teach how to wholesale and flip houses using real deals, and this is one of those videos. And today's case study is a deal that took me a little less than 20 minutes total to go from initial lead to executed contract. Now, before we get into the video, I know what you're thinking. Sure, Jerry, you've been doing this full time for over 16 years. You've done thousands of deals. Of course you can do it. But not me. I'm just fill in the blank. Brand new, too old, too young, etc. If that's what you're thinking, I want to remind you that every expert was once a beginner, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that you can model it yourself. You might be surprised how simple it is. And to be fair, not all deals come together this smoothly or this quickly, but when you get off the sidelines and you get in the game, good deals start coming your way, and they come more and more often, and sometimes all the stars align and they come together really fast, as you'll see on this video. This particular deal is in the same neighborhood where I did a virtual wholesale deal about a year ago, so it's my second deal in that market. Now this is helpful because I'm already familiar with the market. Generally speaking, I know what values are, I know what the flippers are doing, and I know what areas are better than others. The more you understand your market, the easier it is to wholesale and flip. So this is an area I farm for deals, and this particular deal was on market. In other words, listed for sale with a real estate agent. So let me show you how I found and secured this deal in less than 20 minutes using my wholesaling and house flipping system called Flipster. Now, if you've never heard of Flipster, it's a cloud-based, all-inclusive deal management system to help you organize, streamline, and automate all of the steps to wholesaling and flipping houses, including several lead generation tools. Now, to learn more and see it in action, just go to getflipster.com. Okay, step one to flipping a house is to find a lead. Now, using the on-market deal finder tool inside Flipster, I set up a campaign in the zip code where I look for deals. And it gave me a real-time list of all of the properties currently for sale below market value. Now, I like to go after deals immediately when new listings come out. On this deal, it literally came out for sale just a few minutes earlier. So I added it as a property in Flipster, which starts what I call a deal workflow. The workflow has all of the steps to progress a deal from start to finish, either as a wholesale or a fix and flip. Step two is to contact the seller. Well, since this is on market, there is an agent representing the seller who listed the property for sale. Remember, when a seller hires an agent and goes on market, you have to go through the agent to make an offer. But before calling the agent to make an offer, I need to do step three, which is to analyze the deal or run the numbers to determine my offer price. So under step three in Flipster, click comparables, and then using the Flipster comp tool, decide the comps that are most relevant. Now, the purpose of comping the property is to determine the after repair value, or ARV. This is the price it will sell for once fixed up. Now, this is pretty easy with this particular deal because there are a lot of flips going on in the area. Now, I only want to spend a few minutes tops right now because I don't want to spend a ton of time before making the offer. You'll see why later, so keep watching. Now, after looking at comps for a few minutes, I determined that the ARV is approximately $300,000. So next, I opened up Flipster Deal Analyzer, which breaks down all the numbers. Based on picks, I decided to go with a $50,000 rehab budget, and the Deal Analyzer tells me I need to be at $160,000 for this to be a good deal. So now in step four, I'm ready to contact the listing agent to make an offer and hopefully get a contract. Following my double dip strategy, I'm not going to use a buyer's agent, but rather go directly to the listing agent. If agreeable, I'll offer the listing agent to represent me and submit an offer on my behalf. Known as dual agency, they will get both sides of the commission. Now, I do this strategically to have a competitive advantage over other investors. And if you'd like my word-for-word agent scripts for free so you know exactly what to say, leave a comment and say, Jerry, you are a flipping genius. Give me those agent scripts and I'll give you the download link. So now what I want to do is cut to the call where I contacted the agent and made my offer. Now I want you to pay special attention to how I position myself as an investor, how I find out information about the sellers and about the deal, and even get input from the agent and discuss the numbers. Take a listen.
Returning your call about the home on Lexington that just listed?
Yeah, like 15 minutes ago.
Like 15 minutes ago, you're right.
Yeah, do you work with investors at all? I'm sure you probably do.
I do some, and I do some investing myself, so I know some stuff about it. So what questions do you have for me?
Well, so what's going on with this property? What's the story on it?
The people that have lived there purchased it several years ago and did some of the updates and renovations, and just decided to move on and not necessarily finish everything. So it's a vacant home. It's a go and show. They have a young family, and they just moved on and putting their energies elsewhere. So that's kind of where we are.
So notice I don't just launch into making an offer. First, I want to establish a relationship of trust and find out what I can about the situation. I asked two very important questions. First, I asked, do you work with investors? This is important to find out because it lets me know how much I can use investor talk. Investor-friendly agents understand it's all about business and it's all about the numbers, and the numbers have to work. Now, if the agent does not have experience with investors, I'll have to finesse things more and be more sensitive to the situation. Since this agent said she works with investors and that she herself does some investing, that allowed me to dive into investor mode, as you'll see, so keep watching. The other question I asked was, what's going on with the property? It's helpful to know the backstory as much as possible. If it's a bank-owned property, is it probate? Is it a tired landlord? What's going on? Now, she explained that it was a live-in rehab where the owner started rehabbing while living there and then got tired and they want to move on. This happens all the time. So we're dealing with a private seller who hired an agent to sell the property. Now next I want to get a better understanding of the layout of the house and the floor plan. The one thing I immediately noticed was that the rehabs in the area all have 2.5 to 3 baths, and our deal is only a 1-bath house. Now that's a big deal because if I want to get top dollar for a flip, I'm going to need to have 2.5 or 3 baths. Listen to how I discuss this with the agent. What's the capability of fixing the bathroom situation? A lot of those nice renovated homes have 2.5 baths, and this is a 1-bath.
It is a 1-bath, and it's a small bath upstairs where the 2 bedrooms are.
Yeah, that's concerning for sure on a flip. We'd want to figure out how to at least add another bath. So
Right.
There's 2 bedrooms up and a bath, and then on the main floor, what do you have?
So there's just 2 bedrooms upstairs.
Okay.
And the room next to the kitchen then is the 3rd bedroom. And then you've got the living room or the parlor. And it's right in the front of the house, and it doesn't have a closet, so that really can't be a bedroom.
Yeah, okay, so then those are the 3 bedrooms. So we discussed the floor plan and the layout, and she agreed that the single bath was an issue. That means one of the things I'm going to have to figure out is if I can add another full bath and a half bath. Now that can be easy or extremely difficult depending on if I have the room and how accessible plumbing is, etc. So I'm going to need some due diligence time to figure that out, but I'll come back to that later. Next, I want to discuss more about the renovations. Next, I want to discuss more what the renovations are going to cost and discuss more about the after repair value. Take a listen. And I mean, what would you say the renovations would need to be on this? I mean, do you have any idea on what would you spend on it?
I don't know. I mean, it needs work. It's got some work to do down in the basement area. It's got some foundation, some work down there that needs to be done. I mean, again, it was built in 1860. But it's mostly exterior. I mean, it needs a new exterior
siding.
The new siding. We don't know about the roof. I mean, it doesn't leak right now, but it's definitely older. He did the furnace. He did the windows. He did the PEX plumbing. He did drywall inside. They took out some walls and kind of opened up the eating area there in the kitchen. There's a room on the back that's really rough that just needs to go away. I mean, I would tear that off.
I mean, what are you thinking? A lot of those big things are done, but I'm thinking it's probably still more like a $40,000, $50,000 rehab.
Oh, I'd say easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say to make it, for that area and the way things are going, you've got $400,000 homes back in there. I would think you're easily in that range.
But what do you think this would sell for? Let's say I did all those things and brought this thing up. New roof, fixed the siding, all the issues, AC, just redid new kitchen, new bath, added a second bath. I mean, ideally it would be a master bath and then one for upstairs, leave that alone for those 2 bedrooms. A half bath on the main floor and then a master bath. That'd make it a 2.5, and that would be killer.
Oh yeah, that would be great. And you could probably, since those room sizes are so generous, that master bedroom is a nice big room, so you'd have some space to do some.
It wouldn't
things
need much. Yeah, just a maybe even a 3/4 shower, sink and toilet. It just doesn't even need to be much, but just something for that master bedroom would be really game changer. What would you think it would sell for with all of that done?
For that area and the way things are going, you've got $400,000 homes back in there. I would think you're easily in that range. Here's one option. It's right across the street. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It's $429,900.
So we went over all of the things that are going to need to be fixed. We discussed the bath situation again. She did mention that there was a foundation issue, so we're gonna need to check that out as well. And noticed how I asked her, what do you think the rehab is gonna cost? I like asking that question to agents and sellers. It lets me know if they have a clue about what it costs to update a property. Most of the time they won't answer, so I'll follow up by giving a number and asking what they think. I said, do you think it will cost $50,000? And I like to see how they respond to my rehab numbers. I also asked, if I do all of these things and I completely update this home, what do you think it will sell for? This is another question I love to ask agents because it lets me know what they think the ARV is. Whatever they say, I always challenge it. Why do you think it will sell for that price? I want them to show me comps and justify their answer. Maybe I'm missing something. In this case, she pointed out a comp I missed that is pending across the street from my deal at $429,000. Now it's bigger at 2388 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it has a really nice 2-car garage, but it's literally across the street. I mean, nothing beats a pending comp across the street because once it closes, it will be a brand new sold comp. But because it's pending, we don't know what the contract price is for, so to be safe, let's assume it will sell for $400,000. So listen now as I use this comp to come up with the numbers on my deal. Okay, so 400,000 divided by, I'm just gonna call it 2,400, about 165 a foot. Assuming that logic, 165 times this deal, which was
1736.
That puts us at about 286. Does that sound about right?
1736 times 165. Sounds like it to me.
Maybe it could push it a little to 300 just because it's, $100,000 cheaper than that one, kind of thing. Let's say it could get 300,000 if it was done right. I mean, it would definitely need to get those baths fixed because people just aren't going to pay that if they're not getting, because they're going to see these other remodels getting 2.5 baths, 3 baths.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it definitely needs more baths. There's no doubt.
So let's say it could get 300,000. So what I do, I don't know what your formula usually is, but I follow 70% less repairs is how I try to buy at. That would put me, let's say it's 300, 70% puts me down to 210 minus 50, puts me right there at 160, and you're at 179. Okay, so I hope you followed my logic there. I took the comp next door and I assumed it would sell for 400,000 and it's 2,400 square feet, which means it would get $165 a foot. So then I multiplied the square foot of my deal, which is 1,736 square feet, by $165 a foot, and then rounded it up a bit to 300,000 as my ARV. Then using the 70% formula, less repairs of 50,000, I came to $160,000 as my desired buy price. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with the house flipping buy formula, I did a video where I break it down in detail, link in the description. Now notice I did all of this right on the phone with the agent. Sometimes we think that we have to come across like we already have all the answers and we already know everything, but as you saw, I was figuring things out along the way with the agent right on the phone. Now watch as I discuss making the offer. How do you feel about putting in a cash offer for 160?
Are you going to come and see it?
No, what I'll do is, I mean, I do a lot of sight unseen deals, and I mean, 50 is just going to let me go in there and kind of do everything. I would still ask for an inspection contingency, maybe like a 10-day, and then I'll just verify that foundation issue isn't, crazy, or that I can actually put the bathrooms in there, so I'll need a few days to get somebody over there. But I don't want to.
You got somebody you work with here, or that you're used to working with?
Yeah. Or if you've got somebody helpful, that I would be open to that too. But yeah, the biggest things I want to do is check out the foundation and then make sure I can do a bath arrangement. But I don't want to spend any time doing that if I don't have a contract. I like to get the contract first and then verify things. So when I asked about putting in an offer for me, she immediately asked, "Are you going to come and see it?" Now keep in mind, I'm sitting in my office in Arizona talking to an agent about an offer on a house clear across the country that just came out for sale minutes earlier that I've never seen. So I explained to her that I don't need to see the property yet, but that I would need an inspection contingency, and if my offer got accepted, then I would send someone to see the property and make sure I can actually do everything I need to do for $50,000. And she totally got it. Now, I want to get the contract first before spending any time doing all of the due diligence on the rehab numbers. Not all agents get this. In fact, most don't get this, and they will not allow you to present an offer until you've seen the property. Old school. Some agents are just extremely difficult to work with. In fact, I did a video where I could not get the agent to make an offer even though it was over asking price. Talk about frustrating. So if you'd like to see that video and see how I handled that difficult agent, I'll put the link in the description below and you can watch it later. So now that she's agreeable on letting me make the offer sight unseen, next I want to make sure she is on board with my double dip technique, where she submits the offer for me so that she gets both sides of the commission. Take a listen. And I would let you submit it for me as a buyer's agent. Are you able to do that?
I am. I mean, we'll be, limited agency, but yeah, I do that often, so no problem.
So you want to try to get an offer in already?
Okay. You want to do 160 cash? Okay. If you want to email me and give me any, how you want it written up. And
how quickly do you think you could get it in? Because it's going to get attention, I'm sure.
It is going to get attention. It's right there on that corner. It's in a great location.
Yeah, and it just came out. I just mean to try to beat the other offers coming in today. Okay, I'll email you over right now, and then we'll get that going and go from there.
Okay, Terry.
Thank you so much. So she is willing and able to submit the offer for me, and notice how I created urgency. I want to get my offer in before any other offers and hopefully get the deal locked up before the competition has time to even think about making an offer. Often, speed to the deal is what wins the day. So she agreed to get the offer in ASAP. So as soon as we hung up, I sent her my 10-point offer sheet. Remember, she's going to write up the offer using her state-approved contract, but I want to make sure that she includes everything I need to wholesale or flip. Let's take a look at it. First of all, notice under the buyer name, I have my entity, and then I added and/or assigns, which will allow me to assign or wholesale my contract if I choose. Number 2 is the price. Number 3 is all cash. Number 4 is proof of funds, and it says see included. So if you're a pro or prime level subscriber to Flipster, you get unlimited proof of funds letters for as many offers as you want. Remember, getflipster.com to check it out. Number 5 says as is with free and clear title. This lets the seller know that I'm not going to ask them to make any improvements, and also that I want to make sure I get a full warranty deed free of any title issues. Number 6 says I want a 10-day inspection contingency, so I have plenty of time to get into the property and perform my due diligence. Number 7 is a $1,000 earnest money deposit, which I'll wire to the title company once the seller accepts my offer. Number 8 is a 30-day closing, and numbers 9 and 10 are clauses I want the agent to add to the contract, which is the seller is to give buyer unrestricted access to the property via a contractor lockbox. That way I can get in the property with contractors and cash buyers, and the seller is to close with buyer's title company of choice. That way I make sure we use an investor-friendly title company. Now, if you'd like my 10-point offer sheet, I'll give that to you for free. I'll put the download link in the description below for you. And if you'd like to see a detailed video where I explain all 10 of these things in detail, I'll put that video link in the description as well. So after emailing her my offer sheet, she sent me the written offer for digital signatures, which I signed right away on my iPhone. Then she presented the offer to the sellers, and within the hour, she called me back and said the sellers accepted my offer of $160,000. They didn't even counter. So I gave the agent my title company, and she sent them the executed contract and opened escrow, and I wired the $1,000 earnest money, and now I'm in the process of getting bids and talking to cash buyers. And guess who's giving me referrals for contractors and helping me handle all of the moving parts? You guessed it, the agent. Why is she so helpful? Because she's going to earn 6% in commissions on the deal. That's the power of the double dip technique. So the total time invested for finding the lead all the way to getting my offer accepted was less than 20 minutes. At this point, assuming the due diligence comes back good, I haven't decided yet if I'll fix and flip this deal or wholesale it. So leave a comment and let me know what you think I should do, as well as if you'd like to see more videos on how this deal progresses. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel with over 500 videos all organized in a comprehensive library. By going to the channel playlist, you can access everything and anything you need to know about wholesaling and flipping real estate. Do that now, and I'll see you on the next video.